much noise pollution is in your life? Autistic traveling and the latest certified city. A famous Scottish heart. For the rarest pasta in the world, would you do it? Update on the Mpox outbreak. A new CDC travel health notice for Cuba. Stay tuned to find out more about these stories, bringing you the top travel headlines from around the world now. But first, welcome to BT Travel News. I'm Kathleen, and this is your World Travel Information Channel, giving you the information to help you make informed decisions so your adventures are the safest and best they can be. We also share insights into new and innovative ways to travel around the world. Now on to the first headline. Gradually on the rise for the last decade, quiet travel has hit an all-time high record this year. According to Booking, which is a tour-operated software provider from within the TripAdvisor family, this evolving preference for travel has increased significantly, such as searches for Bali Wellness Retreat, an increase of 2,956%. They have even gone as far as analyzing average noise pollution data across Europe. It has been found that Latvia, the Netherlands, Finland, and Iceland rank as 4 of the top countries with the least noise pollution, offering tranquil environments ideal for relaxation. With this trend, it's estimated to continue to rise well into 2025. Sam Jeffries, the Senior Growth Marketing Manager at Booking, commented, quote, "While we know the industry's travel preferences always ebbs and flows, it is great to see that more wellness-based tours and trips are growing. It is an important call for tour operators to adapt to changing demands, tailor their experiences, or simply align their current marketing efforts towards peak seasonal interest in order to thrive and take their businesses to the next level. With the travel landscape ever evolving, the key to navigating these changes lies in adapting to these trends with flexibility and creativity." Unquote. Taking us to headline 2. Traveling with kids is hard enough, but traveling with special needs kids is almost an impossible feat. However, some UX cities are trying to make it easier. Traverse City in Michigan just became certified by the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards, or IBCCES, as an autism destination. Quote, "The goal is to create a welcoming environment for all residents and visitors, regardless of their unique needs, and to make the travel experience friendlier for families," unquote, said Traverse City Tourism Chief Operating Officer Whitney Wera. According to the Center for Disease Control, more than 5 million adults are on the autism spectrum. In the last census, another 9 million people were identified as having sensory issues. Myron Pincombe, board chair for IBCCES, quotes, "The leadership and commitment from Traverse City to ensure travelers and locals have options for individuals with autism and other sensory needs is evident in their continuous efforts to create inclusive and accommodating environments." There are other cities which have been certified as well. Mesa, Arizona was the first ever autism certified city in the United States, and not just in the US, even Dubai has certified locations. If you are interested in learning more about the certified autistic travel options, I have put a helpful link below. Headline 3. For 4,500 years, Stonehenge has fascinated and mystified humans. The stone heart is currently lying under 2 megalithic sarsen stones. A paper was published just yesterday in the Nature journal, revealing that the altar stone most likely came from the Orcadian Basin in northeast Scotland. These researchers believe the 6.6-ton Scottish rock was transported to Stonehenge by humans. which challenges the current understanding of travel and technology in Neolithic Britain. Moving a 13,000-pound plus megalith more than 450 miles on land, including across rugged mountains, would be a, quote, bit of a task to be polite about it, unquote, says University of Brighton physical geographer David Nash. University of Aberystwyth geologist and co-author Richard Bevan stated, quote, this array of analytical equipment has given us insights that were just totally impossible for the earlier geologists studying Stonehenge, unquote. Some archaeologists suspect that Stonehenge was built to honor the dead. There are many theories surrounding Stonehenge. Most will never find out the truth. I want to know, have you ever been there? And if you have, what were your thoughts after visiting Stonehenge? Headline 4, your Mpox update. Last week, WHO declared in the Democratic Republic of Congo, or DRC, as having a public health emergency of international concern, or PHEIC. And although SATSA, or the South African Tourism Services Association, supports this declaration, David Frost, CEO of SATSA, made this statement, quote, SATSA recognizes the need for international cooperation to address the outbreak effectively. However, media narratives that generalize and stigmatize the entire continent do not contribute to resolving the crisis. It is critical to understand that Africa is not a country, but a vast continent, geographically larger than China, United States, and Europe combined. Each of its 54 countries has unique environments and health contexts. Painting the entire continent as a high-risk zone due to a localized outbreak is not only factually wrong, it is damaging to crucial tourism economies across Africa, unquote. SATSA wanted to make it clear that Southern Africa remains a safe and desirable travel destination. Tour operators in the region are committed to the highest safety standards and are working closely with local authorities to monitor the situation, further noting that the risk to travelers in unaffected areas remains low. If you find that you are in Africa or heading there, please stay informed through reliable sources, such as World Health Organization, the CDC, and the South African CDC equivalent. Headline 5. On August 1st, 2024, the Pan American Health Organization, or PAHO, issued an epidemiological alert about Oropouche cases, often mistaken for dengue. Now on August 16th, 2024, the CDC changed the level for the outbreak of Oropouche in Cuba from a level 1 to a level 2, which is practice enhanced precautions. Spread by the bite of infected midges or small flies and mosquitoes, the CDC is asking all travelers to Cuba to take steps to prevent bug bites during travel to protect themselves from infection. Here are some things to know. There are no vaccines to prevent or medicines to treat Oropouche. The best way to protect yourself from this disease is to prevent bug bites. Use Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, registered insect repellents. Look for EPA registered repellents labeled for flies, biting flies, or cucleosides, biting midges, punkies, granny nippers, and no-see-em. After your travel from Cuba, or after travel to an area with Oropouche virus, you can prevent the spread of the virus to other people by doing the following. For 3 weeks after your trip, make sure that you continue to use an EPA certified or registered repellent to keep other bugs from biting you and spreading the virus. Travelers who develop high fever, headache, muscle aches, stiff joints, nausea, vomiting, chills, or sensitivity to light during with or within 2 weeks of travel should do the following. Seek medical care immediately and tell your healthcare provider when and where you have traveled. Do not take aspirin or other NSAIDs to reduce the risk of bleeding. Continue to prevent bug bites during the first week of your illness to avoid further spread in areas where mosquitoes or biting midges are active. A quick Ernesto update for you. Bermuda is bearing the brunt of this Category 2 hurricane. A warning is in effect for this weekend. According to CNN Weather, the center of the hurricane will track near or over Bermuda today, but drenching rain and tropical storm force wind gusts are already underway. We can only pray for those on Bermuda. Waves of up to 40 feet high could be expected in the open Atlantic. These elevated wave heights will bring rough seas and dangerous rip currents to the U.S. East Coast, the Bahamas, and parts of the Caribbean, predicted even into early next week. Please be cautious if you are in these areas. Taking us to headline 6. Is it time to get out those moth-eaten face masks again? According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's wastewater dashboard, the answer could be yes. In May, COVID viral activity in wastewater was at 1.36% and rose to 8.82 on August 10th. Dr. Peter Hotez, an infectious disease expert who is director of the Center for Vaccine Development at Texas Children's Hospital, stated, quote, "The best thing people can do as far as their own personal risk is to get the vaccine when it does become available. Next, of course, is a good N95 or KN95 mask when you are in crowded indoor areas," unquote. You can also seek out the antiviral medication Paxlovid if you test positive and stock up on COVID-19 tests to identify whether any coughs or runny noses are being caused by the coronavirus. And of course, please, if you do test positive, don't get on that plane. Just stay home. Headline 7. Twice a year, a pilgrimage happens, October and May. Throngs of believers head to Santuario di San Francesco, the devoted walkers under a blanket of stars for 20 miles, walk in reverence for the threads of God, or su filindeu, what can only be defined as the rarest pasta in the world. There are only 3 women on earth who know how to make this, all of whom live on Sardinia. And they make it only for the biannual Feast of San Francesco, passed down for the last 200 years. Engineers from the Barilla Pasta Company tried and failed to reproduce this pasta, as did celebrity chef Jamie Oliver. Paola Abraini, one of the masters of su filindeu, says the hardest part is, quote, understanding the dough with your hands, unquote. These delicate strands get stretched into fine threads, then are laid over a circular wooden frame, crisscrossing 3 layers of noodles one over another, then being left in the sun to dry. This intensive process and the limited number of producers has led the unique pasta shape to be included in the Ark of Taste, which is a database of foods from around the world that are in danger of disappearing. Albaini has tried to teach the technique to her daughters, her family, and even students from her village. None have been successful, but Albaini is not giving up. She is now making and sharing her pasta with 3 local restaurants. Al Chiusa and Il Rifugio are 2 of those lucky restaurants. If you find yourself going anywhere near Sardinia, this would certainly be a reason to take a detour. Well, that's it this time. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell to stay in the loop of what's happening in the world of travel. Ta-ta for now. Wishing you safe travels and great adventures ahead. Bye.